That's our flag for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You don't turn down?
Yep. Just in case the audience can't hear us.
Yes.
You can move forward, Stephanie.
Okay, this meeting has been properly posted in the normal posting places. I need an approval of the agenda.
I'll make that motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor then say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. The minutes.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes of Monday, July 20th, 2015, and Wednesday, August 26th, 2015. Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Are there any additions or corrections?
Amy, thanks for the comments about the header.
Yeah, we just needed that.
So I did include the header on the official minutes, which are in your addendum packet. And,
Okay, if there is no other, all in favor then say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. Okay, we've got approval of the, we got the, did you do the, yeah, we did.
Yes,
So we're on, so we're on to the bill listing, financial report.
I'll move to approve the financial report and bill listing, payroll, direct deposit number 9003887839000389005 for $28,704.62. Void 90003881 through 9000389003 for void of $962.43. Direct deposit number 900038906 through 900038967 for $96,695.38. Reissue of void 900038968 through 900038978 for $962.43. Direct deposit number 900038979 through 900039034 for $36,970.15. Direct deposit number 900039035 through 900039095 for $90,241.89. Direct deposit number 900039097 through 900039185 for $71,784.09. And void 900039123 and 900039156 for a void of $1,875.76. Direct deposit number 900039186 through 900039245, $47,650.71. And direct deposit number 900039246 through 900039307 for $97,033.71. Wire number 201500002 through 201500094 for $167,760.48. Check number 50651 through 50704 for $102,666.57. Credit card transaction 615 for $58,118.27. And direct deposit number 151600041 through 151600069 for $5,447.55.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Are there any questions?
It's different to its three payroll.
3 payroll periods, because we had such an early July meeting. Yeah. Dean, I did follow up with John Menshine. Dean asked a question regarding the forklift batteries. That is not an annual expense. That happens about every 2 to 3 years. Ours forklifts were due. You'll notice it was about $4,700. I asked him, John has never brought up any concerns about the forklift, so I asked him, what kind of life do we have left in the forklift? He goes, a ton. We obviously get it inspected every year for safety and maintenance as well, and they said it looks like it's brand new. So that's why Dean asked the question if, you know, $4,700 to continue using an older forklift is worth it. The answer is yes, in our opinion there too. And the oak lawn, the granite oaks, Lindsay, get back to you. Okay.
What about the scrubber?
The auto scrubber?
12,000?
Yep, that was the auto scrubber that we had for a capital purchase last.
Oh, okay.
purchased
Yeah,
it.
I thought we purchased one.
We did, and
Okay.
it just hit the books.
Okay.
It just hit the books, correct.
I was worried it was not holding up,
Nope.
making a new one.
Nope. It just hit the books, because we give them the requisition and then it moves forward that way too, so.
Do you know how old the batteries were?
Oh, that's a question I really don't know. I think we purchased them about 3 years ago.
We typically get more than that out of ours, and ours are heavy daily use.
Maybe daily use.
Yeah.
I know, I can ask John when the last time we did, but I'm thinking 3 years from that.
And you could use a lot of natural gas.
Yeah. Or propane. Okay.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor, then say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. No one is signed in for delegations to be heard. Moving on to administrative report, we've got the donations. Do we have any?
Yep, we do not have any donations. We'll be bringing those forward in September for this month. Personnel actions, I do have, we did have a late resignation in your, Stephanie put a few pieces of paper near your seats this evening. We have 2 things, or 3 things. Looking for approve a resignation of Kevin Depke. Kevin was an IA for us the last 2 years and has recently accepted a physical education teaching position in a local school district. So looking to approve Kevin Depke's letter of resignation.
I'll make a motion to approve Kevin Ducky's resignation.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, then say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried.
All right, and then to replace Kevin, the administration is recommending Michelle Strowig, who last Wednesday we approved as a part-time 5-hour employee. She has accepted our offer of a full-time. She's got a lot of experience, and we're real excited for Michelle to increase her hours from 5 hours to 8 hours. So you will see her new letter of appointment looking for approval. And then we finalized Andrea Weber this morning to replace Michelle Strowig's part-time position. So just looking for a motion to approve Michelle Strowig and Andrea Weber's letters of appointments as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the letters of appointment for Michelle Strowig and Andrea Weber as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor?
Do we have any positions open now, or?
We are completely filled.
Until tomorrow.
No, Jenny.
Don't check your email.
Jenny, not until tomorrow, until June 10th.
Until we have a ton more kids come in the door than we
That's
thought,
right.
right?
But then, yes, a lot of hard work and time by Mike Budas, Jay, Maury Larson, Tina Heisman, our special ed staff, so wonderful. Okay,
All in favor, then say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. All right.
information for us. Would like to present, I'll email this to you guys, but would like to present what our graphic artists have come up with for a possible floor design for our new primary school gymnasium, like the Hughes Gymnasium project. A couple things what I'd like to kind of get a verbal on, because obviously we've already approved the project, but looking for, we need to, in order to lay the new surface, we need to order the new surface first. So what we're looking at is a two-tone of blue and a silver, and with a tentative markup on this. The striping plan is not as important. as what actually really making sure that we have the right color of material to lay down for this. I have run this by our physical education department. They only really, I showed them and then they said, hey, can you put some 4 square boxes near the stage? So you will see 3 of them as well. Ran it by Mike Budish, who obviously is in gyms an awful lot, and obviously it's kind of his area now too. It's going to be named after him. Very impressed with what it looked like, but I said from a basketball court standpoint, what is it? You know, is it good? No, everything's very, very clear. The designation of the out of bounds is right there, and it looks sharp. Showed it to a couple kids. They're like, well, that's not fair. I don't go to school there anymore. They were all intermediate school kids, and they thought that was really, really cool. This is just a mock-up of it, and I know Phil commented to me about, you know, the Merton Athletic Association logo and things like that, maybe a little bit of doctoring. That is on them. Obviously, Jason Hyman we're working with him through Schmidt Foreign. He's president of MAA, and we'll make sure that their graphic gets on there appropriately.
Put their names on the floor, is that?
Yes, but as part of we have a $10,000 donation, which I'll be bringing to you guys. And in return, they are asking for 2 emblems and looking for an emblem to be put on the screen curtain that's going to be dropping down on both sides. That would be their return. Schmidt Flooring is donating the decal for the floor, and the curtain logos are approximately $2,000.
Where is the scoreboard going?
The scoreboard, we are going to be putting on the wall opposite the bleachers.
So the bleachers are here.
Bleachers are right here.
Where it says bleachers. Sorry.
I want to point
I
that
have
out.
to turn it around.
I want to point out that
Yeah, I had to do that when I was looking at
I
it.
know.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking.
You walk in.
So you would walk in this way, because the main door would be down in the bottom left corner,
Okay, so you have to walk.
opposite the stage.
Yes. So it's like,
No, here's the
No,
entryway
that's-
right there.
That's where you go in.
oh,
There's
that's
the
the
stage.
stage. I'm sorry. I'm so
That's
Some of
the
us are-
outside door that goes out to the playground.
Playground. So here's the main entrance. Would
Yes.
Be in the,
These are the doors
right by
that
the
go to the
Merton.
playground.
Correct. They go out to the parking lot.
Okay. So we have to walk all the way around to get to
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jamie.
the.
All the way
Richmond
around.
does that. I hate that.
Yep, yep.
So does North Lake. That
So-
always drives me crazy when they're coming for a game.
So does Stonebank.
I know,
We
it's
originally
fine.
wanted to use would be the south wall. However, given the Fayette office there, the window in the curtain, we would have had a lot of breaking points in it, and it would have been a lot more costly. You lose seating to put, because you would have put like 3 banks of bleachers in.
So how many bleachers high are they?
It's 5 bleachers high. It's about 4 feet 9 inches. It's about 5 feet tall. And when the bleachers are pushed together, it's approximately 39 inches.
So do they come out right, almost to right?
They will come out 3 feet from the floor.
How many people will be?
So what's the
Approximately
intermediate school?
400, I think.
Like how far, I'm just trying to think in relation to like how the intermediate school where those bleachers come out. How-
Probably about the same.
About the same.
About the same. Yep, yep. Because 3 feet is the recommended safety, and that's pretty much what it would be there for that. And you'll notice too that this is drawn to scale. MAA uses the sideways for their recreation, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade basketball. Obviously, it shrinks the court down, but the distance between the end line and the bleachers there's 5 feet between the hoop and the bleachers there as well. So we're going to be, as part of the mechanical restructuring, hoops are getting shifted close, are moving in, so the side courts are smaller to accommodate the bleachers being put in on that north wall.
Are we making any changes to the stage or that area?
Nope.
No? Same
Nope.
thing.
Same thing. No, we decided not to touch the stage at this time.
So the school would be paying for the logo on
Out of the $10,000 gift, correct. Yep. Yep. Basically, that covers the curtain itself is right around $7,000. So it would be approximately, you take the 10, subtract the 2, so you've got a gift of about $8,000.
And the silver, do you think that'll look good? Because the floor won't be.
No, it's going to be a nice contrast, so it'll be, I think it's going to look sharp.
I I think it looks nice.
Yep.
I
Are
do.
we repainting the walls too?
Yep, the walls are getting all repainted.
Is there a plan
Below, what's that?
Is there a plan for how that's going to happen?
It's happening right now.
I mean, what color it's going to be?
Oh, it's just our standard, like,
It's gonna be the
but
same
it's
white.
actually the same color, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, you won't even know they're painted except it's a fresh coat paint job. Yeah, that's
Are we
what
keeping
it
the
was.
like greenish and bluish stripe end thing?
Yep, that's gonna stay, so everything, look here, kind of,
Everything below that?
everything
line?
below the M
Sure.
is being painted. And the door frames are being repainted and things like that. What was I gonna say? The jump, skip, and the run, kind of, you've got those scatterings over there. The big one, that where the bleachers are going, that one's getting covered up with paint. But the other smaller ones are going to remain the same, so we'll just cut around those for painting too as well.
Or do we have to do anything with the, like all the baseball nets and things
Nope,
like that?
nope.
Those are.
Everything that is all good because
And you will still be able to do all the baseball and everything on this
everything,
floor?
yep, everything, yep, it's a multi-purpose floor. Yep.
So if we hold concerts or anything in the future, it's okay to put chairs and
Yep,
people sit
yep.
and.
Completely, it is a multi-purpose, multifunctional floor that is protected, so yeah, you can use chairs, hit balls, drop dumbbells, stuff like that. Yep. And it is considered a lifetime floor, which basically means it can outlive the building, given every 10 to 15 years, there's a small amount of maintenance that goes on. You just put a new coat of polyurethane on, pretty much, and it brightens things up, and it's pretty much what you do, and it's expected to outlive the building almost. It's fun. Very, very durable product. So, everybody okay with the two tones? All right, great. The final conversation I wanted to have with everybody was the banners. As we begin to, well, you got a nicer, just kind of put those there as well. So, I know Phil wanted to have a conversation with the board, just about banners and things like that. There you go. Hang on. So as we know, we do have banners, and more of them will be coming in to accept some donations in September, hopefully. But ultimately, we have said in return for sponsorships to create a banner with their organization's logo or whatever it might be. So original concept was what you see in front of you with the horse right there. It represents our M on our letterhead. And I know there was some questions, but every banner would have different wording in it, or a different combination of wording. Not to say you wouldn't see determination twice, but you would see that same banner looking identical with that too as well. And Phil, I'm just going to kind of turn it over to you because you had a different idea.
Sure. So I know when we talked about this, and the last time we talked about it in a board meeting, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago, whatever it was, Amy had brought up the idea of having silhouettes of kids doing sports things as an option of a way of doing it. So Megan and I quickly mocked this up as an alternative option of having black silhouettes of kids doing things and brightly colored banners, and we could include the same kind of inspirational wording stuff or not. That's kind of optional. And then on the bottom, obviously, it's open for the logo, and whether we want to do that just as black and white or color, whatever is obviously up for debate. But my concern with the original proposal was, even though wording is different on them, having 3 of them next to each other, or having a bunch of them in the gym, is going to look kind of repetitive. And so I want to try and come up with something that, the banners would all coordinate with each other, but would be distinct and unique. So the idea with this other proposal here is that, all the banners would be a different color. All of the banners would have a different, kid doing a sport, or dance, or whatever we decided we wanted to put on there. So there would be no 2 that were, in any way alike, other than they all have a background color with, the way it's cut there. I felt that this, gave a, cleaner look. They were more identifiable, when you start looking at something with more content on it, when you're further away, in the gym, it starts to get hard to see what is actually on the banner, unless you're relatively close to it. And this is a thing that our kids are going to see all the time. So it seemed like a nice idea to try and, put something up there for that, in addition to, including the advertising for the sponsors. So that was kind of the idea. And these, like I said, Megan and I threw this together pretty quick, and so they're, the silhouettes are a little jagged or whatever. Obviously, we put something together that was nice, crisp, clean looking. It was mostly just to get the idea out there.
In concept, we would be putting them above that line, just to kind of getting them above. But,
Sure.
But
yeah,
Phil, your graphic does display, your Photoshop. Because when I first looked at it, I'm like, did I miss something? Boy, that version doesn't look like that anymore. But yeah.
Actually, I kind of like this one a little bit better. It ties it more in with the floor and the school colors. And these are kind of generic, I think. It's not really pointing to Merton School.
sure. But there's, I didn't feel like that was necessary, because there's all the M's. There's, we're now going to have, all the stuff on here, right? You're gonna have the Merton Mustang logo here, and then the names on the floor. So it didn't seem as necessary to have the banners say Merton Mustangs. That and
Well, they really don't say it.
well, to have the logo or to be so kind of blatant about it, I guess.
I just think this ties in more with the floor too. It goes better with the floor. These kind of stand out a little much, I think. I don't know, what does anyone else think?
I'm not good at visualizing things.
Phil, why didn't you make the floor look like that?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, it's like I'm trying to see, like, is it
Gladly.
too much that way, or? I like the
Yeah, that's why we
idea
tried
of
to,
the
like,
silhouettes
put
of the
the-
kids, but,
Do the picture here. We didn't know what the floor was going to look at the time.
I'll try to totally confuse the issue and say that I would like to see them combined.
yeah.
Yeah,
well, that would
that's
be
kind
good
of what
too.
my
You could
original,
do-
when I thought of it, I thought
You
we
could do
using
silver
Merton colors.
I like-
background, but I like
Yeah.
the kids, like,
Yeah.
I like the silhouettes of the kids.
yeah, I
Yeah.
do too.
But then if you took the gradient and you turned it
Yeah.
upside down like this, where you're going from dark blue to white.
Yeah, that would be
So
fun.
you'd have dark blue to white down here, you could still do your logos at the bottom, you'd still have your silhouettes, and it would kind of
Yeah.
tie everything together.
Mhm.
Not until I get home.
Can't just whip it up here.
I think that would look nice.
Yeah, I do too, actually. When do we have to decide what?
We just need to get something to Color Inc., who is going to be printing these. And there's been a lot, sooner the better. And what we can do is kind of create some mock-ups, or obviously I can work with Phil in doing that. So what I'm hearing is the silhouette with not the bright colors, but the gradient of the blue
And I
down.
like the inspirational
Yeah.
words.
I like the
So
words.
maybe just like one word on it.
Yeah.
I like the
Rather
words
than
on it.
the three, and I don't like the word sweat. That
No.
really bugs me.
That's-
It does, it's like B.O., would you put that on a banner?
You just spelled it wrong. So then they're all the same color?
Yes, I would think so. I think this is, the colors are a little too distracting, but I do like the silhouettes, and I think just the silhouettes combined with that would look really
The
nice.
color
We
gradient.
should
going
make it
down.
like an intermediate school, first day of school, come up with all the most encouraging big
Yeah.
words to put
Yeah.
on a banner. See what the
What
kids
about
can
having,
come up with.
so,
They'd say like
what about
sick,
having different colors
stuff
that were
like
just
that,
not
but I didn't
as
realize it
vibrant?
was. Pardon?
What about different colors that were just not as vibrant? Would that look better, or
I
is
think
it?
we still want to tie it in with the floor. I think, that's just my opinion. I think this would look really nice with the floor, the way it's going to be.
What color are the doors gonna say
The doors are going to be red. The doors are going to be red.
Why?
Why?
Other than the fact that they're already red. Right, I mean, that doesn't coordinate with anything, right?
Sure.
If
But then the question goes, why is the M green?
that's why I was kind of hoping we were painting over that too. We're doing something else for that.
Unlimited budget. Touch of shades of legend, yeah. Paint is cheap.
You could put the gray of the floor over the green and the,
That would look good.
Do what?
So put the gray of the floor, make the M the gray of the floor.
Make the end grade floor.
Does the Eagle Scout still have some of this blue paint in the hallway?
Yeah, well, that's the other issue, right? Unless you're very purposeful about it, all the blues will be different. Right, they're not gonna be
Well,
the
what
same.
I think
color.
we're going to do is what I would probably ask
Close-ish.
is to get the
That number.
number on what the blue is on the floor and tie it in with that. So, because this, I mean, this is a mock-up of the blue, and it may be a little bit darker,
Yeah, like
lighter.
the Pantone number of it or whatever. and
Right.
you can match that.
Okay. So what color do you guys want the doors?
Blue.
Blue?
Or even
it's gonna
gray.
be right against the
Blue or-
blue though.
Then the silver, gray, or
Yeah,
whatever this
gray.
is.
If you look at where the.
Yeah.
Or
if
white.
they're- If they're blue, then they
I
look
think
like
that'd be great.
So silver.
the padding too. So
I
that's
think
probably
gray
good.
would be good.
Well, the padding, we're gonna get some new pads from it too.
Gray or white?
I would go gray. I wouldn't go black.
No, I would get it too dirty too fast. Gray.
Gray will get slightly less dirty,
Yeah,
slightly
I
less fast.
know, exactly. That's Black would
All
probably
right.
look better
It's a
than
pretty,
red.
if this is representative, it's pretty dark gray.
Yeah,
It's not like a super dark.
yeah. What do you think, Dean? Blue, white?
You know, I got
It's
two daughters.
The
One of
white.
which was chosen yours, my younger one, and my older one would have taken that.
I like the younger
So
one.
I live in a home where I got both at one time. So I like the idea of incorporating, and that's a nice idea. I can live with it, I just like the idea, got the project going.
Yeah. That's what I'm excited about.
Well, maybe Phil, you could put something together and send it to us
Sure.
via email so we can see it.
Sure.
And then
Yeah.
speed things up.
Yep. Yep, well, I'll send
And
it
I
to
do
Ryan.
like the
Ryan can
idea of
send it out.
Yeah, I
repainting
can send it out. That's
the
right.
stripe around them, getting that green up.
Yeah, why
Yeah,
is that
I
green?
Tight touches, I don't know. We didn't even think, because we were gonna stay below, that's easy for us to do.
Yeah.
That's easy for us to do. All right, doors and stripe. Gray.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we can do that.
Thanks. for
Thank you,
doing that.
everybody. Phil, thank you.
Sure. No, hang them on your fridges.
Everything.
Tell the kids, this is what's coming. This is what's coming.
My
You
daughter
got all
is
the
very
rainbow
excited.
colors
Oh,
in
good.
there, my attorney, and my other daughter, and she had, yeah, I mean, Friday, the other daughter had champagne for the one bride. And no colors. So, great. So that's all the information?
That's all the info, other than we start school tomorrow. Woo-hoo, new campaign, 15, 16, we're all ready to go. Amy mentioned, we're all hired up. And early assessment went very, very well. Had great participation. Our staff really enjoyed getting to know the kids one-on-one, especially our primary staff, because you don't get that one-on-one time ever again, outside of pulling them for either a small assessment or a little talking to. But really enjoyed, the staff really got a chance to enjoy it. We had close to 80%. I mean, 7th and 8th grade, we filled up. We did not have enough personnel to accommodate all the individuals who wanted to early assess. We have about 210 7th and 8th graders. We only had 150 slots based on our personnel that we had available, and that got filled up in 2 to 3 days. So we really love the feedback that we got. We will be talking to our staff about that, seeing also if there's, if parents, an open window, for instance, because assessment is one of the things that we have to do. We gather a lot of information to drive instruction. is there a window, an hour of time for a 2-week window where we can ask kids maybe to do some math testing? But, so we'll continue to take a look at that and kind of get the pulse about what that is, because that does give us a lot of information very quickly, and we can move forward quicker than normally we could. So, more to come on that though.
Okay, we're on to the Finance Committee and the budget hearing summary.
Sure. Well, again, thanks to Amy and Jenny for, we met last Tuesday. And what you have in front of you is the 6590, which we have to publish in preparation for the annual meeting. The 6590 is a very tentative budget that gets moved forward. That would be then presented more thoroughly at the annual meeting, in which our community and our taxpayers vote as a recommendation to the board, which then ultimately in October gets finalized at the October board meeting. So what you have in front of you is the budget demonstrates approximately a negative $157,000 deficit. Based on prior board meetings and approvals, we have a fund balance designation of $200,000. So still lots of wiggle room, and our budget is looking very, very positive. But at this time, what I have in front of you is, and what we will hopefully a little bit later in the meeting, we'll be approving the 6590 to be brought forward. And this represents a stable tax levy at $6.24 moving forward. So that does not have any of the key variables, such as property value, student enrollment, as well as state aid equalization number. So still those 3 variables come in October 1st, or third Friday, October 1st, and in the middle of October, respectively.
Is this number updated for the personnel changes we've had
No.
since? Okay,
No,
so this is the
does
same
not.
number we saw last week?
Same number. Since you guys forwarded it, I did not change anything on the 6590. So that is just that, and then we'll be asking the board for a recommendation there a little bit later. Athletic fees. Jenny asked us to, I'm sorry.
Quick question on the 6590. Instructional staff services, we've seen a lot of growth there. Is that our literacy coaches?
Yes.
And what else?
Literacy service, instructional staff services would be literacy, professional development is also in there as well. And would be Google certification as well. And I do believe that would be some designation for 403B contributions as well. That are part of this budget. The instructional coaches would have been from that 164 to 317 dollar amount. And then you get from 317 to 49 is PD, staff work time during the summer, Google, 403.
And you typically come in under budget.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Okay. And what about business administration? Because we moved from 1.4 up to 1.8 last year.
And then went down to 1.6.
Correct.
That I'd have to get into what that number represents. Off the top of my head. It's not there. It's not unfair to ask Sarah. Sarah, what is 250 000? Something I have to look into, Andy, to sort out that.
Okay. Not a problem.
But
I probably
here.
should have said that.
So I did talk to Mike too. He had a question about something. A school finance question he asked me about.
Give him the wrong answer, right?
Boys eating with city tomorrow in front of you. So, good question, Lorraine. Yeah, I'll have to get back in on it. So, athletic fee. Jenny wanted to discuss a little bit about what our athletic participation is and revenues versus expenditures. Last year, we take a look at expenses versus revenue. There was a deficit of about $7,500. Our athletic fee is $65, it's been that way for the last couple of years now. And MAA is always kind of a reference point for AMSAC basketball. Theirs is $85. But when taking a look at kind of expenses and revenues and things like that, it seemed like the The Finance Committee is recommending a stable rate of $65 per sport, and that would be boys basketball, girls basketball, and volleyball, and grades 7, 8 for basketball, and 6, 8 for volleyball. So, and again, that's just a recommendation, and if there's any changes that need to be done, we would do that later in the meeting as well.
We just pulled the deficit out of fund balance then?
No, we just budgeted, it's just part of our
it's just
Fund 10 budget,
budget.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, so we didn't show a loss, it's,
Yeah.
we budget appropriately moving forward. So, and actually, to be honest with you, Phil, we usually budget, you know, like for instance, 2 girls basketball teams at 7th grade. Last year we only had 1, we had 1 each, but, so this year we budgeted for 2, not knowing what the number is, 2 at 7th grade, we have 1 at 8th grade, but we'll wait and see, that all kind of washes out at the end as well. So, food service summary.
Can I
I'm sorry.
go back one question on that?
Yep.
We used to do a tournament or something like that to help fund. We haven't been doing that. Is there any way we could?
Right, well, what I would like to do is, first of all, we do run tournaments. The last 3 years, we have hosted a tournament. Last year, we hosted 6th grade boys. The year before, we hosted 5th grade boys because we swapped one.
Okay.
That rotates amongst the AMSAC schools, and so we do run one. This year, I think it's our off year to run one, but we typically do. What I'm going to be bringing to the athletic directors is something is to run because one thing in AMSAC is that they have an end of the year tournament, but is proposing by using our new facility for boys, unfortunately, because the boys start in January, is having a weekend scrimmage tournament where each team would get 2 games on a weekend, you know, either on a Friday and a Saturday, start Friday night and Saturday, where it's not a bracket, it's just like practice to kind of get before the games get going, so they kind of work together because there's 10 games in the tournament. This would give teams a couple extra games in a scrimmage setting. So, and as a little fundraiser, you know, you charge admission and you sell some concessions and away you go. Showcase our new facility. So that would be the goal of that coming in January. So you could do something mid-year and run a mid-season AMSAC tournament, but it doesn't have to be AMSAC. You can open it up to any, any public school or anybody else. I would like it to be school-related. It has to be with a school instead of having some club team come in here and mop up a rec team or something like that. So you could do all sorts of different things with that. It does come down to, obviously not only gym availability, but volunteers and things like that. So would be asking the AMSAC first if they wanted to do something like that. It just would be when you want to play, and you play 2 games in a weekend, and you go home. Hopefully you win something from it too as well.
Or even do the 3-on-3. I remember like 6th grade youth nights, we did 1 3-on-3, and we had so many kids sign up, they just loved it. And Linda Degner was a referee, and they played for whoever, came with boys and girls.
Right.
So,
The 3-on-3, obviously, we tried for an outdoor one, and Arrowhead and North Shore actually had to cancel their indoor 3-on-3 basketball tournaments last year due to lack of participation. So, for whatever reason, the 3-on-3s recreational are kind of being replaced by a lot of organized 5-on-5 select, maybe even school basketball or whatever it might be. So, just thinking about some way to get some exposure for our gym, but ultimately, using the facility, but ultimately helping our kids as well as some of the other area students around as well.
My boys have played in Freeze Lake runs one that's not AMSAC related, and I just know, I think Brett played in it in 8th grade, and they just have a lot of fun, because it's just something, a lot of these kids either don't have the ability or the means or time to do a club basketball, but they want more basketball, and this gives them that experience of almost playing for a club versus, having to put in 4 or 5 nights practice,
Yeah.
It's still that same experience, so that'd be kind of a neat to do, I think.
Yeah, I know Freeze Lake does.
Yeah,
Bill,
they do it.
Bill Anderson.
Yeah, it's a nice little tournament, and they ended up with a trophy at the end.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Looking at expanding some of that stuff.
Yeah. Okay, Kevin.
Okay. Food service summary. Last year, as we know, was the first year of Aviance. And they went through the RFP process, and we went through it on Thursday. Mike was in, and we wanted to review the final financial bill listings for revenues, expenditures, et cetera, et cetera. So the bottom line, after everything was all said and done, the school district in Fund 50 is going to see a deficit of $2,000. Now, in transition, this is always your most expensive year. You have new upfront costs, whether it's like they want to institute a new program. It took 2 months, at least 2.5 months to kind of get some of the menu items down because they came in with a lot of different ideas. I know when Jenny and Amy, we were going through the RFP process, a lot of, hey, we're going to try this, what I would say very, very healthy choices, very unique choices. And we found that wasn't really consumer friendly. So they tweaked, they changed, because obviously they're a business, we're part of it, we're partnership in this. And the last 4 to 5 months were very, very positive for revenues versus expenditures, the number of lunches sold, participation, et cetera, et cetera. This building, the intermediate school, was consistently continued to grow incrementally, but next door, once they got, the number one selling school lunch in America is chicken nuggets, then it's pizza, then it's hot dog, So, not what you're eating, Tool, but, so a lot, they've settled into menus, and we feel very, very confident that this upcoming year, which is a year where there is no guarantee from Allianz or anything, that it's going to set us up very, very positively for a positive school lunch program. We met with them. They've got ideas, obviously, to continue to bolster sales on their end as well. One of the things that they're really looking at is how to involve staff in the staff lunches, particularly. So they've rolled out some new things, doing some different things over here as well as the primary school to really try to bolster that participation as well. So Sarah and I will keep very close eye on it now that we really, really have a stake in the game based on the contract and things like that too. So, but food menus are out, and I asked my little one how many. She goes, I suppose I'll eat every day. I'm like, great, great. And, so we're real excited about another year of Allianz, and we'll pay close attention. But at the end of the day, that's $2,000. That includes labor for cleaning and other supplies and things like that as well. So in the world of Fund 50 expenditures, it's not a huge moneymaker, but I know when in talking to some board members and obviously reminding them, if you have a Fund 50 fund balance, obviously it helps you with not only the expenses that come from the kitchen, but then you can kind of shift appropriate Fund 50 dollars from Fund 10, which then free up dollars to be used elsewhere in the district. So, but very positive first year for Allianz, and we were real excited to go on the journey with them this year too. So that's that. And go ahead.
Sarah, maybe know if we can use Fund 50 for staff lunches.
Sarah, we love use in Fund 50 staff professional development.
I get bring pizza in or something.
I don't believe so.
It's food.
What if
It's
it's
food.
for lunch? What if it's specifically for lunch? The school lunch program.
No, because you have to be so careful what you're bringing in and not bringing in just so you're following healthy guidelines.
Then you've got Fund 50. Yeah, we're not part of the national program.
Oh, we're not?
No, we're not.
Oh.
No. So you don't need to worry about healthy guidelines. I'd say it's not healthy. Very,
That's
very
how we
healthy.
get away with all the chicken nuggets.
In theory, you can, but we don't abuse that chicken nugget privilege. But a lot of, we can look into that, about what some of those Fund 50 appropriate expenditures are for. Yeah, we certainly can.
And when the hot lunch program was initiated here, it was said that it was never to be subsidized, it had to support itself.
Good.
That's a few years back.
That's a few years back, right. Yep. And this is, we did decline in Fund 50 this year. So, but we have a fund balance, so it didn't affect any Fund 10 expenditures at all. We just offset that from our Fund 50 fund balance. Yep.
Okay, we're give skip reports and updates. We don't want to do that. So we're on to new business. We got second reading of.
Sure. Some wordsmithing, a couple of different changes. You will see an updated policy. I think I changed just one word on it. Phil caught it for me. So, but if you just wanted to read that, you get baseball. I'd read it for our audience.
I read it on the online version.
You read it on the online version. Our school policy, basically, this is second reading for it, is to, in emergency situations when we have an anaphylactic emergency, the ability for a trained district personnel to administer an EpiPen. And then obviously, in the meantime, calling 911, et cetera, et cetera. So it reads, school personnel who have been authorized to do so in writing, who have received all district required training, may administer epinephrine to a student or any other person who appears to be experiencing an anaphylactic emergency. The district will have standing non-patient specific order EpiPens stored in a nurse's office in each school. If, as soon as practical, the person administering the epinephrine will call 911 or direct someone to call 911 so emergency personnel can be contacted. A fairly new law, obviously Act 239 allows schools, and the more you speak to people, it is becoming more and more common amongst, and obviously the whole purpose of the policy is to just to try to be there for somebody who is experiencing that type of reaction for the first time, child or adult. And I did put it underneath the 4,000 because that's underneath the student in the community.
So how many people do you think in each school would be trained to administer?
We're going to try to, the office personnel, as well as the administrative team, and obviously our school nurse.
What about who's ever out on the playground if someone gets stung by a bee, or would they have?
No, they will not be. They will not be keeping stock EpiPens because they'll be kept in the nurse's office as well. And if we have people with medical backgrounds, we'll probably do that, or we could offer it up to whoever wants to be officially trained. Gail Ward would be the one training people on how to do it. They're not the digital ones, the ones that talk to you. You know, now do this. And they just would be the stock type of EpiPen as well. So we wouldn't have them on the playground to be used. No. The students who need them, we have them on the playground for. Just looking for a motion to approve the policy as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the policy regarding EpiPens as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? All in favor, then say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. We're on to athletic fees.
Per the Finance Committee is recommending the 2015-16 athletic fees to stay at $65. I don't think we needed motion unless, Dean, you feel it's appropriate for not changing anything.
I don't think we need to,
We didn't make a motion to keep the school fees at $65 or anything else like that, so.
we shouldn't have to.
In past years, we've had comparisons of where other districts are at. Do we know where other districts are at?
Not with their athletic fees. With the school fees, we're right in line, right in the middle. And we can compare to Arrowhead, and they look really, really good. But, no, I haven't looked at a comparison in quite some time. Actually, it would have been about 2 years, 2 years ago.
Maybe we can think about that.
We can think about that to make sure we do it.
I wouldn't mind doing another comparison as to like coaching.
Sure.
Since we have a ton of staff coaches anyway,
Okay.
we can maintain them even as high as they are.
You'd have to raise it just a tremendous amount to dent against that. Just
The $45 should be great.
so that
$45 would be great even.
Oh, another 45, yeah. And so,
Well, yeah, that's what we decided, you know, even if we brought them up to MAA, it makes such little difference to the deficit that, you know, it's really not a big deal.
Okay.
and it's just one other fee. Kind of like other governments that just make fees and so they say they don't raise taxes. So
You just raise taxes instead if you want to.
No, I'm not. Okay, so we're gonna move on. All right, here we go. Okay, the food service number. Oh, wait, it's the academics.
Let's go to proposed budget.
Proposed budget, very good, that's where we're at.
All right, just looking for a motion to approve the finance committee's recommendation to approve the attached 6590 to be forwarded to the annual meeting as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the attached 2015-16 proposed budget for the annual meeting.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. None of these changes with the hirings or anything is gonna have much of an impact, right?
No, it would. The hirings, pluses and minuses, we're probably looking at right around negative 140
Okay.
for that right now. It's a positive impact, correct. At this time, it's a positive impact. Yep. Because we had, the big change would be is we had one full-time position that was with benefits went down to 2 part-time positions. Benefit, you get additional, we have 10 hours and there's no benefit package attached to it.
Joe, Chris, any other questions? And all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. Okay, we got academic standards.
Sure. As part of the approved state budget in accordance to Act 55, all public schools at their first board meeting of the calendar year, of the school year, and our school year. In the future, we will do this in July, that we need to adopt a declaration. But based on the passing of the budget and state law interpretation kind of coming out at different times, basically each school board in the state of Wisconsin is required to identify the pupil academic standards adopted for the upcoming school year. Many school districts are taking this many different ways. Basically, the declaration is designed to just inform parents of your academic standards and where you have created them and what we bring to our students. So there's a lot of wordsmithing that can be done. In summary, I just kind of made this declaration. The Merton Community School District is committed to using benchmarked and rigorous academic standards that set the highest expectation for student performance and prepare students in the district for success in college and career development. In creating these standards, the district carefully looks at multiple sources to best prepare our students for future college and career success, and then create standards that best fit the needs of the Merton Community School District students. These sources include the Wisconsin Model Academic Standards, Common Core, and other locally developed academic expectations. We do what we feel is right for our kids. Period. So just looking for a motion to adopt that statement as presented for modifications.
Could we add something about high school, because it's like we're kind of skipping right to college and career?
College and career, we are, from a K-12 lens, it's college and career readiness. And we start college and career readiness, believe it or not, at the 5K, is where we do assess
Okay,
that.
was just, I was just thinking.
We could prepare students for high school and college, high school, college, and career development. High school in there, to separate our unique situation.
Yeah, I mean, having college implies that you're going to high school. It's rare that someone doesn't go to high school but does go to college, so. Right, like.
Well, some kids might go to high school and not go on to college, or.
That's where we get the career development.
Yeah, but hopefully they still have a career.
Yeah, hopefully.
At least our students.
Future high school, college, and/or career services.
I don't know, I just thought that was possible.
I actually thought the same thing, Amy, but then I thought it's kind of a generic statement, not unlike company mission statements. And you can sit, there are companies that wordsmith them for hours and days and weeks, and what really matters is what we do in the classroom, not what we do.
Is the vagueness and of this statement consistent with what everyone else is doing?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So So it's one of those laws that is pointless.
Well, it's showing local control. It's showing that local school districts have control over
Yeah.
what they're bringing to their kids. And the main themes focus around college and career readiness.
In my opinion, Ron, was that we didn't put a high emphasis on politically charged things.
Common.
So, yes, that's it. And so that's why the last sentence is a little different.
I'll move to approve the statement as recommended.
I'll second.
The motion is second. Is there any further discussion?
I was just wondering, kind of in relation to this, how's the Junior National Honor Society going, and what about the honor roll?
Sure.
Is that being developed this year?
Yes, yep.
Have you set what the grade point average will be for that honor roll?
I do believe it's a 3.5 to be eligible for National Junior Honor Society. I'll have to confirm that with Heather, but it is, I do believe it's a 3.5 for that component to be
We're
eligible.
really stretching this, being germane to the subject here.
Related topic, academic achievement.
Yeah.
We could technically put something about that in here if we wanted.
Well, I don't mean,
No, I'm
I
just
just had a
teasing.
question.
We were having a discussion.
I'm trying to stretch it to
Yeah.
this.
National Junior Honor Society, that's what we strive for. So,
Yeah, it's good information, but I just think we shouldn't have kept that in the information part. I'm just, it's just kind of getting off subject, and we should stay with it. Not to get that picky with this.
Maybe next meeting.
Next week, we can say that in the agenda part. To have an update on that. So, any other discussion? All in favor, then say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. Okay, future meeting agenda items, we'd like to update on the
National Junior Honor
I
Society.
don't mind an update, it doesn't
Yeah.
have to necessarily
And the
be
honor
next
roll.
meeting, but on
I'd like to hear.
that Pomeroy's,
Yep.
play 60 things putting together with the 7th and 8th graders. Or maybe it could be something that, yeah.
Sure. Anything else? And that will be for the September, the monthly meeting,
right.
because the annual meeting, budget hearing, will be a separate entity on September 14th.
Anything else? Okay, how about those meeting dates? I'll look at where do you want to be? Okay, then I think we're ready for a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
A motion and a second. All in favor, then say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Meeting's adjourned.
Oh, what is that now?
Thanks, everybody.
Like Mike and Jay.
Keep those guys out of it.
Even though
Yeah,
I
yours
was
are-
home, they
yours are
were,
older.
no, but if I were home
7:10.
28